Hello there, I'm Scotty. You're not. Welcome back to the Smallville Retrospective. I was on such a roll of getting that right, and I got it wrong. We are talking about Season 5, Episode 20, Fade. It's more filler, but this was actually one of the better ones. While in Metropolis with Chloe, Clark saves a guy from getting hit by a truck, or a van, and the guy turns out to be an assassin with a secret meteor power and vows to repay Clark one way or the other, and that leads him to taking care of Lex Luthor for him. So, yeah. So, yeah. It starts in Metropolis. They're talking. I don't know why they're there. They're about something. They're talking, and Clark saves this guy from getting hit by this truck. He notices there's this weird. I don't know how nobody noticed it. He jumps over the thing, saves the guy. He's like, "Thanks. I have to go, but I'll have to repay you someday." And then we see this guy's an assassin. And he kills someone, a witness in protection. Yeah. And so, yeah, when Clark gets home, he finds out that he's been repaid. And even I was like, how did he know who Clark was? He later says, well, your press pass has your name on it. And I'm like, oh, okay. I didn't even realize he was wearing his press pass. But, yeah. So, yeah. And he comes home and Lois is playing his video games, a big TV. And you know what? Well, Jonathan was still alive. He would have said, no, take it back. He's gone. So, Clark, you can keep this now. You don't have to have someone tell you no. Although I think Martha would have said something. But he's just like, no, can't keep this guy. Take it back. So it's sent back. And he's trying to figure out who sent it. They think it was Lionel. It wasn't Lionel. He's out of the country and not in this episode. So, like, oh, maybe it's Lex. He's trying to buy his friendship back. So he goes to see Lex. Lex has been out of the country as well and has made his way back. And wouldn't you know it, and Lana is there and they start to smooch. And wouldn't you know it, this is when Clark walks in. Unfortunately, there is no scene between the three of them because when the camera moves around and it goes in between where they're kissing and then they part ways, he's gone. Yeah. And then the guy shows up at the camp farm and meets Lois. It's another one of, hey, we don't have anything for Lois to do, so let's have her date the bad guy cliche. How many times have they done this? AC, he's not really the bad guy, but he's the freak of the week type situation. So with AC, this guy, there was a couple other ones. There'll be more later. It just always seems like, oh, we don't have nothing for Lois to do, but we want her in the episode, so she's dating the bad guy. Yeah, despite not showing any kind of attraction to him, she ends up at this club, his apartment complex thing. He even says that he's a headhunter for corporations. And if I heard that, I'd be like, wait a minute, corporate headhunters. In what way? Do you track them down to bring them in, or are you... But they kind of just hear this and go with it. He even hires, I believe it is an escort for Clark, but he turns it down. And then, Clark he's like, oh, I'm still not over my ex yet. Simone would say differently, but that was a trans. But I'm not over my ex yet. And that's where he gets the idea, oh, she's with Lex Luthor. Okay. I'll kill him. Now, it's never his power's never explained. But when he goes to kill Lex, he reappears. Like we can see him doing it. Why? The only thing that this leads to is Lana walking in and catching this and seeing him. That's the only reason why he's visible, so Lana can see him, and they become a threat later on in the episode, where he's like, oh, they know my identity, so I have to stop them. But if you were invisible the whole time, there wouldn't be that problem. Now, were there? Now, would they? Would there? We don't speak English, but would there? This is your fault. You know? You should have been invisible the whole time. And his powers are never explained. Oh, I can't commit the act when I'm invisible. Which I think he does when he kills the guy at the beginning. Isn't he? I think. I don't know. I didn't pay attention. I just heard the death happen. When this episode started, I had to go sit on the toilet. Because I put the disc in and then my stomach went, one of those painful ones. You're like, oh man, I go sit down. But I started the episode. Oh, maybe going back. Please don't. What did I eat? I really don't know. I don't know. Pizza? The pizza from earlier was that bad? I don't know. Was it those peanut butter I have for breakfast? Are they fake now? I don't know. Anyway. So, now, Clark sees Lana and Lex in the hospital, and she lies. Double standard, bitch. And says, oh, I was returning books when I caught them. When I caught him. And she, yes, what did you see? What does he look like? He's like, yeah, she's like, yeah, he's 6 foot, dark hair, black trench coat. And that immediately, like, oh, it must be that guy that I saved. Yeah. So, Clark confronts him and is like, you tried to kill Lex? Yeah, so you and your girlfriend can get back together. I don't think that's how it works, but yeah, okay. He's like, no, you stay away from them. He's like, what are you gonna do? You can't make me? You gonna stop me? Huh? And disappears. Then we get a creepy scene. So, first of all, he's talking to Lois. He's like, hey, I want to go see Coldplay. She's like, Coldplay are playing with Troublets? He goes, no, Chicago. You get on my plane. She's like, well, sometimes a girl like me just wants to stay home and have some musty burgers or something. He goes, you know, we get a couple musty burgers, we'll eat them on a plane. And she agrees to go with him. And it's followed by one of the most confusing scenes. She agrees to go with him, and he decides to be a pervert and watch her in the shower. Dude. You guys are like dating right now, right? Play your cards right, and you can just have that for free. You don't have to, you don't have to sneak around. But no, she seems to think there's something going on. Like she hears something. I love how I didn't realize this at first. She opens the door like she's gonna hit someone, and Clark is standing there, and she's like, shuts the door. She's like, shuts the door, and then goes to grab a towel, and I'm like, oh, she didn't have a towel, and she was completely naked. Well, turnabout is very player, right? I mean, she saw him naked in the cornfield, and now they're even, right? Yes? Technically. She's like, were you sneaking around my shower? I'm like, Lois, I just walked in the apartment. There's no way I could have been in there. She thought something wrong, and he tries to warn her about Graham. She doesn't believe him, of course. And so, yeah. Clark finds him outside and comes after him, but Graham hasn't paying attention enough to know that kryptonite is his weakness, so he used it, and this is how he explained that he did mention earlier he was driving through town the day of the meteor shower. He's like, oh, I came through here about a year ago, and now I'm back. But like, yeah, almost a year ago. It's getting close. So, yeah, he was there the day of the second meteor shower, and this gave him his power. So he's been doing this for a year, being a headhunter, making all this money. So he became very rich, or in the words of William Fichtner from Ninja Turtles, stupid rich. Within a year. That's fast money. That is fast money. When you're a headhunter like that, I guess it goes fast. Yeah. So he subdues Clark with the kryptonite, and then goes to the hospital invisible to take out Lex and Lana because they know what he looks like. Again, if you were just invisible the whole time, they would know. It's your fault. I don't know. He's invisible the whole time here, too, for the most part. He does get shot, which means blood is coming down, and he gets away. But Clark is able to take cares of him. They escape. Clark. I think Chloe. I kind of missed this part. I think Chloe saves him. Because at one point, Chloe shows up and tells Lois what's going on. And then, so Chloe saves Clark. Clark saves them. And then the guy is taken care of. He's not dead. He just goes to jail, I think. I don't know. The end of this is kind of a blur. I do want to point out that after he sees Clark, Lex and Lana kissing, he goes to Chloe. You knew, didn't you? Every time I ask how Lana's doing, you would just kind of push your head away and shut away. You wouldn't tell me. And you knew. She goes, "It's not my secret to tell, Clark. You know more than you know, just as much as I do what it's like to keep a secret, right? Right?" She throws that in his face. But then Lana does something after lying to Clark. It's like our relationship was based on so many lies, and I got on you about lying. I don't want to do that. So Lex and I are together. He pushes Lana out the window and lasers Lex in the face. I'm just kidding. That's not what happens. That'd be cool. That would be like the Brightburn kid version, but no. Yeah. No. No, we don't get that Loki. So no. But yeah. She tells him. Also, there's a talk between Martha and Lois about how she's like, I always had bad taste in men, and Martha's like, well, I was the same way, before I found Jonathan. She's like, yeah, but I'm afraid that when I find my Jonathan, I'll be looking the other way and won't notice him. And I'm like, you already found him, Lois. He's right there. It's Clark Kent, of course. But yeah. This was okay. Yeah, this is that one little bit of filler we need. We do get a hint at something when Lex is on the phone with Fine talking about the virus, but it's really just a throwaway line of dialogue during all this filler. Just little things. This more so than the last few seasons. Like I said it before in these seasons, where towards the end of the season it feels like there's just constant filler. Constant filler. And sometimes they try to work in little things to the stories. Like last season, they tried to do that. They had a little bit of things here and there, but it's really the last two episodes that are going to be big towards the overarching story of the season and finish it off. And yeah, this season peaked at Reckoning, if I'm being fair. When it comes to the storyline, it peaked at Solitude. And then it sort of meandered there since. With Reckoning, when it comes to great episodes, that's where it peaked. Reckoning. And then the filler just... like I said in the previous review, people complain, oh, how come the season's only 10 episodes? We about more. But with only 10 episodes, only 10 episodes in a season, you could tell a pretty decent story. Take Superman and Lois. The final season told a great story in only 10 episodes. There was a little filler here and there, but overall, the story worked. Imagine if they had 20 episodes to fill. How much more filler there would be in that season, and we'd be complaining. Superman and Lois' seasons were always short, and that's why they worked so well. Right? The shorter the seasons are, the less filler they have to throw in there, and the more they can make the story work. Which is why these seasons of Smallville always feel top-heavy with good stuff, and then the back half is all filler until the last two episodes. Which is, what we're getting to. As it stands, this episode was decent enough. But what are your thoughts on this episode? Let me know in the comments below. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Thank you for watching. I'm Sky, and I'll see you in the next one.